Peace, peace, peace. This is your international sales and marketing hitman, your humble hip-hop sales coach, Tiger Toledo, and you already know what it is, man. You rock it with the best. You heard? So I wanted to let you guys know that I'm honored that you are jumping on this with me live real quick. I just wanted to share something real important with you guys, man. Whatever position that you're in, whatever job that you have, give it 110% everything you got. Listen, in order for you to be a high performer in, maybe you want to be a high performer in having your own business or a high performer in any aspect of your life, you're going to have to start in the areas that you least like, the areas that you least want to be a high performer in. Meaning, when I used to work at the health club, right? That wasn't my ideal job. That wasn't my ideal position, but I wanted to give it everything I got because I wanted to see what I was made of, right? It didn't have nothing to do with the company or if they took me for granted or maybe they overlooked me for promotion and shit like that. That didn't matter. What mattered was that I gave it everything that I got in order to be a high performer, to not shortchange myself. I mean, I did things with when I first started off in sales. I was a rookie, didn't have any experience. I used to take the red line from Bryn Mawr in Chicago, Bryn Mawr, all the way to, I believe it was Diversey in Chicago, right? And I could have done what 90% of people did at that time on the train. They sat down, they either played on their phone or they, read a newspaper or whatever the case was. But what I decided to do was take a bunch of guest passes that I got from the health club, and I went from cart to cart to cart, passing out these guest passes. What I want you to understand is that in order to be a high performer in any aspect of your life, you have to be a high performer in every aspect of your life. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to be a high performer here and be a mediocre, average person on this side. That's not how this works. In order to be a high performer in everything that you do, you literally have to give everything your all. Everything. Anything you touch has to have 110% of everything you do. So going back to the story, every time I would go to work or I would have a stack, like a big stack of free guest pass, 1 day guest passes from Bally Total Fitness. And it would take me at least, 25 minutes to get there. I would go from the end of the train all the way to the front, passing out guest passes to everybody sitting in that train cart. I went from train cart to train cart, and I did that for at least 6 months when I first started in the health club. That resulted in a lot of people coming in on my guest pass, asking for me, and eventually getting health club memberships, where to the point where the managers was like, hey, we're going to promote this guy. Not only are we going to promote him, we're going to make him a traveling manager. In Bally Total Fitness, a traveling manager would be a person that said, like, let's say a club was doing bad over in Milwaukee on the north side or something like that. They would take that traveling manager and send him out there to get the numbers up. That's who I was. They would send me out to different health clubs to get their numbers up. Only because I was willing to become a high performing person in the mediocre position that I have. I wasn't even making that much money. But don't sell yourself short. I don't care what that job is. My first job was Chuck E. Cheese. And I did everything that I could to be the best cashier, merchandise person in Chuck E. Cheese. I did like 5, 6, 7 different type of jobs. When they caught wind of like, this guy is really doing some stuff, they offered me the assistant manager position for Chuck E. Cheese. But that's when I went to the health club and when, changed to career paths. But everything you do in life, you should be trying to be the very best. Don't shortchange yourself. Don't say, this job doesn't like me or my boss doesn't appreciate me. Trust me, every time you do that and you pull back from being a top performer, you're not hurting that boss. You're not hurting that company whatsoever. You're hurting yourself. You're hurting your family. You're hurting your income, because it takes a certain amount of courage. It takes a certain amount of energy to produce those high results. I tell you this because this month has been a very eye-opening situation for me. This month we were doing bad. I ain't even gonna lie. In my notary business, this month our numbers were down. Straight up and down. Our numbers were down, right? And it was me and my team saying, hey, look, we can't blame nobody for this shit. We have to do whatever we can to get our numbers up. Whether it's call more people, whether it's send more emails, whether it's developing new programs that people can sign up for. And I kid you not, today is the 22nd of the month. We have tripled our sales for this month, and this month isn't even over yet. Now, I want you to keep something in mind. When they tell you things like pick yourself up by your bootstraps, or stop feeling sorry for yourself. Here's the thing that they don't tell you, is that if you're going to pick yourself up by your bootstraps, you better have a high income skill that can help you pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Because if you do not have a high income skill, it is going to be very difficult for you to execute and change your situation. My high income skill is sales and marketing. Therefore, I know that in order for me to change my income trajectory, I have to implement more sales and more marketing in order to generate more sales. But if your high income skill, or skill, let's just say skill, doesn't incorporate those two, and it's like customer service, it's going to be very difficult for you, because you cannot have customer service without customers. So client acquisition is very important in your business. If you don't have a way to generate more clients, or a way to attract more clients to your business is going to suffer. It's going to hurt. So with that being said, it is your job, it is your duty as a young entrepreneur, a CEO, a manager, to develop those skills into making sure that your company never suffers. It never suffers for a sale. So I just wanted to drop that with you guys, man. Peace, love, and happiness, and cash flow to you guys. I will be jumping on the Notary War Room shortly. You heard?